So once again, I welcome you all for this today's class. I'm also recording this session. Today's class will be on virtual private cloud, which is a very important session. Okay, especially when you are preparing for solutions architect. Okay, so I will just start my theory first. Okay, I have in fact the presentation on this solution architect about this VPC, but I prefer giving this some categorical terminology first before I start this networking VPC. See, there are certain terminologies which are needed, like we call as prerequisites. One is the most important one is that understanding about TCP/IP. So that is almost more or less covered in your college, but still I'll be revising some of the important terms. So here you'll be hearing about the mechanism of IP addressing, the mechanism of subnets, route, internet gateway. Okay, all this kind of terminology you'll be hearing, and we have to do all those things. Okay, so without delaying, yeah, rather than I show in this particular way, I will put it in the notepad so that it will be easy for you to understand. So here, first of all, let me explain you what is IP addressing. So please understand if you have any question. So whenever I speak about IP address, I'll speak about V4 only, not V6. V6 is the second version, I mean, which has come across because of the IP's exhaustion. So here in IPv4, when you see the TCP/IP header, you see this is also called as 32-bit addressing. 32-bit addressing. Okay. So please remember, every word which I am speaking is important for us today. When I say this 32-bit addressing, please understand this one. This is fundamentals of networking also. This 32-bit 8.8.8.8. This is how it is categorized. Okay. So bits, 32 bits, 8888. So 8 bits means you can understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is how the IP addressing is done. That zeros and ones are in binary. If you convert all these ones to decimal, then the value comes to 255. Dot 250. You know how to convert dot 255. Okay, you know how to convert binary to decimal. So the 2 power 7 plus 2 power 6 plus 2 power 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, 2 power 0. So if you sum up all the things, you'll get 255. So that is how our IP address has a limitation of up to 255.255.2. That is the maximum value. Starts from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is 0.0.0.0 to 255, 255. So that is how you frame it across. Okay, so this is fundamentals about this IP addressing, and that is the reason why we have this value of 255. And this 255 also we have classification. Class A stands for, like, you take this first octet here, this first octet. Okay, if only the first one, if the value is coming to 0 to 127 dot anything, okay, dot anything, then this is called as class A. Okay, in class B you have a different value. Okay, in class B, if the value is from 128 to, okay, 191, sorry, 170, 197, yeah, 191. Okay, not 192, 191 dot asterisk. We call this as class B. We call this as class B. Okay, in class C, I'm categorizing the rest of the things, 192 to 255 dot rest, we call as class C. So this is how the IP address is. See, only this is the first octet. First one, not this. This is the first one. If anything, in this way, the original class has been identified. When you say class A, you have maximum number of networks, sorry, n dot h dot h dot h. I mean the first octet is given for networks. That means you can have maximum of 2 power 24 hosts in this network, in each network. Means a network is huge, big, class A. Is this clear? Now, in class B, you have the values defined as n dot h dot h. So that means you have 2 power 16 or 65536 max hosts in each network. In each network. Please make a note of all these things. Very, very important, especially when you are going for interviews. Okay. In class C, you have n dot h. So you mean to say whenever you have h means host, you can have maximum of 255 or 2 power 8. That is 0 to 255. That is 256. We can say 256 or 2 power 8 maximum host. Maximum hosts in each network. But you have more networks here in this. In class C, you can have 2 power 24 networks. Each network is like Geetham is a network, steel plant is a network. Okay, like any other, maybe any other also can be called. Even Star Computer is also a network. So each network can have a capacity of 256 hosts only. Is this clear? Now, coming back to projects. So even in, if you take up large MNCs, please understand now I'm quoting the real time scenarios. Large MNCs like IBM, HP, any company, you have large number of projects. You have projects. So what is a project? It is basically a client's providing a service to the client, interacting remotely. So how do we interact remotely? So whenever I say IBM is a network. So this network is broken down into large network. When you break down into smaller networks, this is called as subnet. Subnet. Okay. Large network. Okay. When you split to smaller networks is called subnet. Okay. Like IBM is a large network. Within that they have project A, project B, project C, project D, like that. So now let me choose a network. Like I can choose class B or class C or class A. In our real time, in our AWS, we generally choose class B. Okay, for especially when we are learning this virtual private network. Like if I take up a network called as 172.16.0.0, okay, like this. And if I say a subnet of, sorry, 0.0, this is a range of network. I spoke about subnet. When I say subnet, a large network, when I say this is the network size, this is the network size. I'll say like this. This is one big network which is spanning like this. What you can do within this project A, okay, this is up to this part. Like that, you can imagine. Project B, depending on your requirement, like that. Project C, so the entire space of the IPs, if you take up this particular one, this is divided. Project A, project B, but the total number project A, project B, like that complete will be the entire network. That is how you can imagine. Is this clear? Okay. Now coming back to a very, very important one, which is called as public and private addressing. Public and private addressing. Any IP address, if it is available on internet, this is called as public IP. Public, private. So when we say about project A, project B, it is only for the client, not for public. Only some of the services within the project can be required for the client. That is called as internet services, like your net banking, etc., or ticket booking or whatever it is. That is hosted on internet. But the entire development is done on intranet. Okay, this public we call as internet, whereas private we call as intranet. Today's discussion will be mostly on private, that is VPC, private network, private cloud. Okay. So please understand, these are the IP addresses 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255 is reserved for private. This is called as reserved or private addressing. This is reserved. Okay. And the second one is 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Okay. Is this clear? You have to by heart this one. This is reserved for intranet. And this particular IP address is not available on internet. You see any website, you say take up any website, this address is reserved for your LAN, local area networking. So as I said, this is intranet. Okay. And the third one, 192.168.0.0, the range which I am saying, 192.168.255.255 is reserved for private addressing. Please remember this one, you have to by heart. Whenever you are creating a public cloud, you are giving the IPs in between these areas only. You might have already saw about all these things. Sir, what is public IP and what is private IP? You saw that whatever you are accessing through internet is available across your internet. All the other IPs, rest of the IPs other than these are called as internet IPs. Okay. So now let me move ahead in selecting one of the address. Like for our VPC, we will be choosing this particular one. It's not mandated that you need to choose this particular one. He has given that for free time. But you can even go for 10. Series also, no problem. But here let me take up a class B. So this particular range I am selecting for our VPC. So now there is more terminology. When you see this particular range, you can see this one 0.0 255.255 means that in class B you can have 65,536 maximum hosts in each network. The other two, you can see this particular one, N and N. So when you say 16 to 31, the range is something like 16. You can have maximum of 16 networks with each network having 65,536 or 2 power 16 number of hosts. Is this clear? If you say like this, by default, like it can have a maximum of 16 networks with 64K or 65536 hosts in each network. Is this clear? When I say 172.16.0.0 to 172.31, from 61, you see this particular one in class B, the second octet is called as network, the rest two called as host. You can see the second octet. When I say octet, it's 8 bits. 16 to 31 is nothing but 16 bits. That is called as 16 networks. And each network can have maximum of 65536 hosts. But like this, you can ask me, do you mean to say, sir, only 16 projects can be hosted totally? Each network means each like that. So then the concept of subnet has come. I'll explain about the subnet now. So what is subnet? As I mentioned that this large network you are splitting into smaller networks. Here you see this particular one. So this is how this subnets will come into the picture. Okay. So here the subnet, project A, project B, project C, project X. So let me select one of the network. As I have selected this particular one, I'll split this network now. So, but before that, please understand that every network has the following. The starting address of the network, starting address is called, okay, I'll say like this. The first one is called as network address. Network address we call as network. This is called as the starting address. Okay. The next one, valid IPs. Valid IPs. Okay. Or we also call as VIP. And last one, we call this as broadcast address. Broadcast address. I mean the last or network reachability address. Like I'll take a sample address. I'll take a sample since we have selected this particular one, 172.16. If I say 172.16.0.0 or 0.1 or 0.0, this is my network address, starting one. Network address and 172.16.0.0 to 255. I can say similar one, or even this particular one also 0 to 255 dot is called as, or before last address 254 we call it valid IPs. You can be given to any system. Valid IP can be given to any system. And 172.16.0.255, this is the last one. We call this as broadcast address. Broadcast address. Right? Please understand this one. I have chosen this particular one, 172.16.0.0. The starting address is this particular one we call as network address. And this is not used by any system. It is called as a network name, like BSNL, like steel plant or something like that. Anything which we call as the network address. Okay. The range here, this is the IPs. You can assign 172.16.0. It's not 0, it is from 1 onwards. 1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, like that, 0.255 and 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, like that, 1.254, 1.255, like that. The cycle goes on up to 255.254. That is why we call it 65,536 hosts we can get it. And the last address we call as the broadcast address. Last address. This is how the network IPs are assigned. Okay. So now coming back. So every network, as I mentioned, that you have network address, valid IP address, and broadcast address. So if my requirement of project A is not that many number of hosts, 64,000. Suppose if I say my maximum requirement is only 200 hosts. 200 hosts. I'll take in this particular way, 200 hosts, one scenario requirement. In another scenario, I say I require about maybe 2,500 hosts in another project. In another project, he may say that I require about maybe around 20,000 hosts. 20,000 hosts. So requirements vary. Then what you need to understand is that we have to create subnets. Subnets is a part of network. So what you need to do, the nearest value of 2 power we need to take up. When you say 200, what is the nearest value of 2 power? It's 2 power 8, that is 256. 2 power 8. We need to organize because it is everything is organized in bits. 2 power 8 is my subnet size. Subnet size. When my requirement is 200 hosts, I have to organize my host size also. So here that comes to a maximum of 255 or 256 hosts. Okay. This is how I need to define. So you can allocate a subnet size of 256, that is 2 power 8, to get about 200 hosts. If I say about 2500 hosts, what is the nearest subnet? If I say 2 power 9, you will get 512. If you say 2 power 10, you will get 1024. If you say 2 power 11, then you will get 2048. If you say 2 power 12, then you get 4096. Subnet size, you get 4096 IPs, hosts or IPs. Okay. If I say 20k, then the nearest one is a big number. So roughly 2 power 10 is 1k. 1k. Okay. Into 2 power 4 is 16k. Into 2 power 5, you get 32k. That is 2 power 15 will give you subnet size. Will give you 2 power 32. 2 power 32 hosts. It's not 2 power 32. It's 2 power 15. 2 power 15 hosts or 32k hosts or IP. Is this clear? That is how you need to plan the subnets. Large network I am breaking up. What is my host requirement? Based on that, I am breaking this particular one. So now I have two subnets. I am taking one subnet A. I'll say, when I say my requirement is about 200 hosts. Okay. In practical scenario, I'm coming back 172.16.0.0. But before I start about subnet, I want to explain about what is network, net mask. Okay, we need to understand about net mask. Net mask is the address where your network terminates. Network terminates. Last mask means finished, close, last, terminates. So all these networks, when I say about 172.16.0.0 means the network address of these 2 bits, as I mentioned in the starting itself, in class B, these 2 are network bits and the rest of the things are host bits. So here I need to define that these 2 are network bits, that is called as net mask. So here in this case, I can say the net mask is something like 255.255.0.0. 0 means any. 255 means a fixed value. The network cannot go beyond 255. First and 2 bits, as I mentioned here at the bottom, at the top. Class B has n.n. If you go to class A, then the value of net mask is 255.0.0.0. If you go to class C, then your net mask can have 255, 255, 255.0. Wherever your network bits are there, it is 255 and the other host bits are 0. Okay, like that. In our case, since I have taken this, the net mask is 255.255.0.0. This can be represented using 16 bits. 16 bits. We call it 16 bits. So how do I define here? This is my network address 172.16.0.0 slash my net mask 255.255.0.0. This represents that this network address has, this particular IP address has the first 2 represented as network and the last 2 is represented as host. These 2. Alternatively, you can also say this particular one as 172.16.0.0 slash, this is 8 bits and this is 8 bits, total is 24. In this way also you can represent this one. Whenever you say IP address of 172.16.0.0 slash 24 means that this is the network address, this is the address with subnet of or net mask of 255.255.0.0. I'll give another example. If I say 192.168.0.0 slash 24 or slash 24, this means that the network address is 172. Sorry, IP address is 192.168.0.0 and net mask is 255.255.255.0 because this is 24.888.0. Sorry. Is this clear about this particular one? Net mask, we need to understand about this one. Please go through this one multiple times because I know this is a complete networking terminology, but we need to understand. So now what we are doing, we are breaking up this one into smaller pieces. If I say /16, so here, sorry, not 24, this particular one, I should say /16 because 8 and 8 is 16. This 8, this 8, 0, 0. Here it is 24. And the same one, if I take 10.0.0.0, okay, /8 means 10.0.0.0 with a net mask of 255.0.0.0. In this way, you can easily understand that, oh, this is a large network. By seeing this /8 net mask, we also call this net mask as CADR. CDR. People also say CDR. What is this CDR? Classless inter-domain routing. So please understand, this is the network terminology before you do your VPC. So we started with IP addressing. We understood about IP addressing. We learned about public and private addressing. What is the reserved addressing? And then we started learning about subnet, a large network, how we have broken into pieces, project A, project B, project C. We understood about how the network has been organized. So network address, valid IP, broadcast address, and we have given some examples of subnets, default subnets which are there. So we out of which we have taken one of the IP address. We understood about 172.16.0.0/24 and what is CADR along with the net mask also. So net mask defines the network reachability, and the network termination, the last point of this particular. Similarly like this. Now, as I have already defined this particular one, so now we are creating a subnet A. In our exercise, we are going to create two subnets. Subnet A, subnet B. Whenever I say subnet A and subnet B, you can think project A and project B. There are two projects. Okay, project A, which I am allocating a subnet A. You can give a name also if you want your client's name or something like that, you can give. Here another project B. Project B. This is how we generally do in the industries also. So depending on the requirement. So if if a project A requires about 100 systems, okay, 100 hosts. So as I mentioned that you can choose what we call as /24 as CADR. Okay, CADR. And if I say require another 50 hosts, okay. So like you can say /24 because the nearest value which as CADR I am choosing here. If you want to reduce further also, you can reduce because 100 hosts means /24 is a larger one. You can have capacity up to 255 hosts. Anyway, for future use, I'm keeping this particular one. Now, I will choose the subnets in such a way 172.16 is default 0.0 to 172.16.0 here up to 31.0.0/16 will be first subnet because you can see this particular one. Not this is the complete subnet /16 means this is the entire network. This is the entire network. So now how I am going to break down? Please listen. Okay. So here 172.16 0.0 to 172.16.0.255/24 is one network. This is one subnet, project A. You see this one, this /16 is a larger network space. /24 is a smaller network space. Out of which I am using this entire thing. See here also 16. This is 31, large one. I am choosing one of the network. 16 16. This is common. 0, 0. First three are same here in this. You see here, first three are same because we have given slash 24. It should be same. Slash 16, first two should be same. Okay. This is one subnet. Subnet A. Second subnet I'll choose like this 16.1.0 to 172.16.1.255/24. This is subnet B. Subnet B. If you want to have more subnets, you can have 172.16.2.0 to 172.16.2.255/24 will give you subnet C. Like this, you can have subnets about how many? 255 subnets you can have. 255 subnets you can have in one network. In one network of 250, 172.16.0.0, this is 16/16. This, what we are changing is that we are changing this 0 in subnet A, 1 in subnet B, 2 in subnet C, 3 in subnet D, like that, so and so. Is this clear? You are breaking up a large network into smaller pieces so that each subnet can have maximum of 255 hosts. Okay, so maximum of 255. Same thing even for subnet B, even for subnet C. Okay. Now this is done. So what we are doing is that now, if you want to communicate between subnet A to subnet B, subnet A is something different, subnet B is something different. It won't communicate, even though you are part of a large network. If you want to have intercommunication, because these are private IPs, these are not public IPs, which cannot be reachable through internet. Leave that. So if you want to communicate, we have a concept called as route. What is route? Route is basically a communication established between two subnets or two networks. Route is a communication path between two or more networks or subnets. We need to establish route in order to communicate between one network to another network. So large network, a big size network, I have broken into smaller pieces. One subnet A, one small subnet B, one subnet C, like that. So if you want to have subnet A to subnet B communication, what you need to do? You need to establish a route. If you have a route, you can have one subnet A speaking to subnet B, and one, if you want, from subnet B to subnet C in that particular case. Now we will, in our exercise, we will establish a route between subnet A to subnet B. Okay. And now the concept of internet gateway. What is internet gateway? A gateway is nothing but the exit point of the network. The exit point or address. Typically a router. Okay. Exit point of a network, of the network or subnet. Okay. Which faces internet. When you say gateway means the exit point, typically a router of the network, which, that's all. When you say internet gateway, then it should face the internet. Okay. So here in our exercise, what we will do, we will take two subnets. We'll create two subnets. We'll establish a route in between. For subnet A, we'll give public IP, the internet gateway, whereas in subnet B, we will not be giving internet gateway. So it has only private address, but not public IP address. Whereas subnet A, that is facing internet gateway, you can log in from your system and enter into that. From that system, you can go into the other system. I mean, through the route. Is this clear? This is the concept of what we are going to do in our VPC. So VPC, the first component, what we are going to do, we are going to create a VPC with a network address, and within the network address, we are going to choose one of the two subnets, like these two, project A, project B, with subnet A, with subnet B, and you can have maximum of /24 we are going to choose, that is maximum of 255 hosts. Remember, Amazon has some reservations, like they out of the 256 is the maximum size of subnet. So there are some 5 IPs which are reserved. So one is given for the network address, one is given for the broadcast address, and the other for the communication for DNS and other IPs. So 5 are reserved. So maximum number of hosts you can get in /24 is 256 minus of 5, that comes to 251. Like that, if you want to take /16 as the subnet, so 2 power 16 is 65536 minus 5, that 5 you need to deduct. That is the maximum number of hosts. Okay, whereas in a normal networks, traditionally we have only 2 less, but here we have 5 less. NAT is nothing but network address translation, which translates data coming from public and private IPs. So this is mostly helpful, like typically a router. Basically, like when we say about internet gateway, it is internet facing. So the data, when it comes to the internet gateway, it enters into the subnet A. So from there, the host, if it wants to communicate to the internet gateway, we need to have a NAT. NAT which will convert all the packets which are coming from LAN IP. Typically, in my system also, you can see this particular one. This is a LAN IP. This is LAN IP. Suppose if this is LAN IP or intranet IP. If I want to know about my public address, I can say, I can go to Google and say my IP. This is my public IP. This is my public IP. Okay, your public IP address. Typically common for all the devices which I am in, which I have connected from my router. Okay, so this is one important thing. We need to define this NAT gateway to project A or subnet A, so that the data which is coming from subnet B or whatever it is can reach to subnet A, and it translates via NAT and it goes to the internet gateway and reaches us. Okay, so now quickly let us start our lab of VPC. This is very, very important. I hope you have understood all the terminology, because what all terminology is, one is IP address, one is public and private IP addressing, okay, and the other one is subnetting, and the other one is route at the bottom, and the other one is, the last one is the internet gateway. If you know all these concepts clearly, it's very easy for you to understand this private cloud. Okay, so let me quickly move ahead in okay, deploying the virtual private cloud lab. Okay, I'm closing the other things. This is my console. So in services, what I can do is go to this VPC, virtual private cloud. Just click that. So we have approximately 5-6 steps which are there. First is that once you log in into AWS services, so you can, by default, there will be a default VPC. I tell you, you can have 5 VPCs in one region maximum, and if you want, you can increase also. Okay. So this particular what we call as North Virginia has 6 default subnets which are there. 6 default subnets. You see this route table, we see this internet gateway, all these things which you have spoken just now. So now we will launch VPC Wizard. Okay, just say select. So what I need to, you please understand this one. You can either go for 10.0000/16 or 172.16 also. So in our case, let me take up this large network here. 10.0 is my network address, 0.0 is my host address. That is /16 is my CIDR. So you can see this CIDR, classless interdomain routing. So no IPv6, I'm using v4. So that comes to 2 power 16 is 65536 minus of 5 reserved address. That includes your network address, broadcast address, and also some components like DNS address, etc. So what is my VPC name? I can say Anand VPC. This is my VPC name. So here, public subnet of each. Which one can be the first public subnet? First subnet A. The first subnet should have internet gateway. Otherwise, you cannot access. So here he has mentioned 10.0. This particular one, out of which 10.00, the third one is 0/24 maximum of 251, which can be internet facing. Okay. And availability zone, if you want, you can choose the first one through which availability. Here I am choosing this 1A. Okay. That's all. And subnet A is, you can name of the subnet is public subnet or project A, whatever you say you can give. I can say maybe project A. This is my subnet name. Okay. Enable DNS, yes, and say create a VPC. So all the related infrastructure, whatever we have spoken, are getting created now. This is the first step. Your VPC has been successfully created. Okay. This is the first step. See this one? This is my VPC name. This is the default VPC. We are not going to touch any of this. So you can see here 172.168.0 is the default one, which I was giving explanation. But normally 10.0 is done in the industry. /16 means these two are reserved. We cannot change. Okay.